It was, somehow it notified me I had a missed call, but it never told me you were calling. So, weird.
Mine does crazy crap like that too.
Rod at the B-Dubs today, hoping to see you. Me and Joe went, I know. Your Tuesdays, I know.
Tuesday's kind of been my day.
Sorry.
The usual.
We snuck over there today. I had to take a car to Ed Martin, so I was too close at lunchtime to not go.
Is the black gal there?
Oh, yeah.
Where all them other gals
And I'm
are?
like, what?
She's always there. I'm in your seat, I know.
No, I'm sure that thing hears too much of my bad mouth. So I still hear
You can hear it up there too.
it now. Yeah, but it's just not as
You
clear.
carry.
It's not, I do, but it's just not as clear when I say stupid. So,
That's fine.
I think it's already on, just so you know.
That's okay. Everybody's just doing it. It's fine. It's fine. I'll try not to use four little words.
You gotta talk nice here, don't you? Mhm, sometimes.
Everyone that watches knows you anyway.
Depends on the audience.
Exactly.
That's
Sorry, this is-
Oh,
Oh, there's a new page.
Oh, is there something
Yep.
thank you?
Is there?
Did you get the text I sent you today? Oh, that is.
Her and
Yeah, there we go. We're on the same page.
anybody here. Thanks, sir.
The first page should be the only thing that changed from the ones that you printed.
Okay. I'll just use this one.
My mom.
Did you apply?
No, Todd talked to me and, Rachel Martin had sent me a couple emails about some things I needed to update. That's why there's the new sheet on there.
Maybe that's.
Yes, I'm probably gonna have to go to the high school and go walk that field in between the schools, the grassy. So look for Derek Sitter going boxing. Yep. So just take him over there. I already told Derek he was coming, then I'll get equipment after my meeting and bring it over.
My sister. She. And I was on the phone with him one day. She lost her mind because I couldn't speak. He can't even say my name. Yeah. But she has her call.
If there's any questions, just about
Yeah. That's fine. Just gonna read the paragraph. I mean, I'm just gonna read it.
Yeah.
The paragraphs pretty much explain everything. So this is my-
Sarah still? Me too.
Yeah, there was some sort of breakdown in there, but I remember looking at it and I mean, it was above, over my head. I don't know.
Were they upstairs?
I don't hear anybody. I don't know anybody's at.
You know, creepy wall and it was still. I have a roll of paper towel.
He writes it
Or you
away.
could get a cheap roll of paper towel in the bathroom right there.
Bathroom right
there. Just so that bathroom.
Oh.
Nobody's in there.
Maybe they heard down 37.
Here they come.
Okay, all right.
Hey.
There's only 7 hours.
Okay, actually, how long would it take you to send me?
Hey,
She is sending you one right now. Our attorneys are stuck in traffic.
Busy Monday.
The Sydney or just Jordan? Is it just the name of Jordan?
Just Sydney. They're together, but
Never just eat candy.
Is that a sucker up front? I'd
Yeah.
rather have one too.
They're so good.
It is funny how those suckers have like become a thing.
The sucker years.
And they fight over very specific ones.
There's no red.
They're red,
So.
but the red isn't what the ones they fight over.
No.
Is it the orange? No, they don't fight over the orange either. The chocolate one.
Yeah, that's the only.
They do get out for the chocolate one.
So we know when the chocolate ones went, right?
No, I didn't know they were out there, but I do blue pops at the shop and the little.
Oh,
I-
yes.
Just you.
when we start this, and you click them in when you get in.
Sure, they were okay with that. I sent them the link.
I'm okay with that.
Okay,
It's called a
just along the ride.
Board of Works meeting for August 17th. Please step to the pledge and pray.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father God, we thank you for this evening gathered together and ask that you return the time to every volunteer and person who donates to this awesome city. Thank you that you spared so many of our families, and the ones that did obtain damage, help us to bring them resources swiftly and quickly to make them solvent. Ask that you be with all of our friends and families and neighbors in these other communities. Keep your hand of protection upon them all and grant them peace. In your name we pray. Amen.
Darren Collins.
Present.
Tim Smith. Roger Cunningham.
Present.
Jeremy is absent. The attorneys will be here shortly. Clerk Treasurer Darcy Van Erman.
Present.
And I'm also here. Everybody get a chance to review the previous meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Get way. Can I just put you on? 1.2 miles. Okay, I'll go to the, okay. All right. Yeah, bad service. She's gonna see things she can join in now,
Okay.
but they're like 1.2 miles away. I'm gonna jump to the consideration of approval for utility delinquent list for July 2026. Everybody get a chance to review that.
That one seems to be growing. Is there a reason for that?
It goes up and down all year long. It just,
I did talk with Amy today, and she said since they had to run on the 12th, it made a big difference because everybody had to the 15th to pay. So I think it's actually less, but I did see some high balances that I circled and she's checking them because they seem quite high.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Yeah.
There she is. Okay, sounds great.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. We can.
Great. We are 2 minutes away.
We're at the committee recommendations for insurance roofing repairs.
Okay, so everybody up there should have a packet. The first page is our final recommendation, which would be awarding Go Big Exteriors their entire bid and then the rest to Amos. If you look at pages 2 and 3, that kind of gives you a breakdown as to why we decided to do that. So Go Big Exteriors bid on 9 buildings, most of which were shingled roofs and in the park, with the exception of Bob Rogers, not in the park, but it is still shingled roofs. So like I said, lowest bid for 7 of the 9, the 2 that they weren't the lowest bid on, they were the second lowest bid and within 3% of the lowest bid. I think it was roughly $300 or $400 more than the lowest bid is where they kind of fell. City has experience with this company. They're the ones that replaced the Embry Lee roof in an emergency situation when it blew off in a windstorm. So that's the reason for that recommendation. And then Amos being the second recommendation to get the rest of the work. If you look at the last page, we had to strike some line items. Like, for example, Embry Lee roof was already completed, and then not all roofs were bid on by everybody. So we struck the roofs that weren't bid on by everybody so we could accurately compare bids. And the way that worked out is Amos was the second lowest bidder. They were higher by about $30,000. But Amos also did identify in their bid additional supplemental work to the tune of $220,000 that they believe can be obtained from insurance. So a little bit more money up front, but they believe that they can get us a lot more work and have identified other damage that was done by that storm. To add on to that, Amos was here shortly after the storm and has timestamped photos of all of that damage that I don't know that anybody else has provided.
No one else does. By the time that we got to this part, it was a year after the damage, and we had experienced officially 2 hailstorms and a windstorm. So if we were to go with a different company and they were to take pictures back, we would get pushback from our insurance company saying, hey, how do we know it's from this storm and not from a storm after that? With Amos, we do have timestamp pictures of all the buildings they did their bids on because they came earlier. And that's going to be a big benefit for us when it comes to the depreciation back and some ancillary back.
And I don't disagree with those, but I think we needed to check with Jewel if they didn't have the absolute lowest bid. And stuff like that.
I mean, the statute simply says you have to go with the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. And if you're not going to go with the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, you've got to throw them all out. And so First question, are they responsive? So did they respond to the bid that was put out? Second is, are they responsible? So if you find that they're not responsible, you have to have specific findings to show why it is that you believe that they're not responsible. Whether that be a history with the city of Alexander where they've done a poor job and like, or a history of them not being listed with the Better Business Bureau as credible and things of that nature. You can't just pick and choose. So look at the spreadsheet. I think you have to take, if you're gonna break it down per building, you award the buildings to those vendors that have the lowest price for it.
And were you here when I was talking about the insurance pictures of before the other storms?
It is a matter of what was put in the bid spec.
Well, the bid was incorrect, so we're gonna have to do the whole bid if that's the case.
Yeah.
because The bid you put out was not the right bid.
The bid we put out was the one that was provided to us.
I know, we're not asked about it. So I'm just telling you, we said the same thing. We got the bids back and nothing matched up with what we had.
If you simply award to the lowest bidder, the fire department was bid on by Amos at $151K, Pinnacle at $580, and SPG at $508. So simply awarding it to the lowest bidder on that makes no sense because clearly there's an issue with scope of work for there to be a $151,000 bid versus a $509 bid. And there's 5 other roofs
Yeah,
in
we
here
keep going
that
with
are
that
just
one.
like that.
The others in green are the SPG, are they being awarded those jobs or?
I mean, if we're gonna break it down by roof and simply award it to the lowest bidder per roof, then yeah, all of those would go to SPG, 1 would go to Pinnacle, 7 would go to Go Big, and
So the
3 would
green
go to
just meant they
Amos
had the lowest bid.
Huh?
The green just meant they had the lowest bid.
On that roof.
Okay.
Yes, sorry. So you would end up having 4 different contractors and you'd have 1 with 1 roof, 1 with 3 roof, SPG with a decent amount, and then Go Big with 7.
But when you say that there's a problem with the scope, and if you're saying the bid spec was wrong, you're looking at which one did you say?
You should have a copy in front of your
Yeah,
laptop.
you should have one.
Yeah, you can.
The second page identifies lowest bid.
So the fire department, you got 2, Pinnacle and SPG, that have it in the same ballpark.
Mhm.
And then you have the Amos at a completely different thing. Well, clearly Pinnacle and SPG saw the scope of what the bid was given to them and bid upon that work. I mean, they're in the same ballpark.
The scope had previously been provided to Go Big and Amos before we knew we were bidding. So that was when we came in the first time and then we're told we had to bid. So the issue here is what was given in the bid packet doesn't match the total number the city received. So for the city to receive a total number of roughly $520,000, we have SPG and Pinnacle saying they can do that amount of work for $272 and $350. So the money received by the city does not match the scope that was provided in the bid documents. If that's the route that we need
What
to
was
go.
provided in the bid documents was a list from the insurance company, scraping out the price points to say, here are the roofs that have been damaged that we are going to pay. What is it gonna take to fix it?
That list does not match the money that was deposited to the city by Selective. Is that correct?
It is a list of roofs that Selective put on there, like, we got it from you guys. I'm assuming Jeremy's the one who sent it to us, who got it from you guys, it's the list.
We weren't asked about the scope of bid, so we sent Selective's second bid they gave us. And then before we know it, it was in the paper. No one talked to any of us about the scope of work going onto the paper, not one.
The
person.
notification in the paper said it was due July something of 2025.
So I mean, we had nothing to do with that, guys. So I'm as confused as you are because that scope, no one talked to me, Eric, or Sam or Roger about what that scope was going to be put in the paper.
You are bound, the city is bound, this board of works is bound by what you did, what you put out there for contractors to bid on. The responsibilities to fix those roofs at that. So they got a list of specs, that's what they bid on.
I hate to table it any further. Should we table it since we have more money in the account than we are accounting for?
The issue is, and that while the city received a check for the road, that should not determine what you're going to pay for the repairing of those roads.
Okay, I understand that, but should we compare the two things that went out and make sure that they're right before we accept these? So we do have the whole scope of work encompassed.
Well, and one of my concerns is, if you do that, I know that there's a deadline. So it's coming for the spending of this, but if you do that, what you need to make sure is that all four of these vendors bid on the same thing.
And I think that's what we have.
Which
We have two
clearly-
vendors that bid on one thing and two
Clearly,
vendors that
these
bid.
other two companies did not bid the same amount of work as
For the firehouse. Yeah, I mean, that's,
for the firehouse.
But the
I
amount of
mean,
money
these,
given,
these two,
The firehouse is leaking.
these two amounts are basically patch jobs.
it's not even that. They didn't get the scope of work for that. I mean, that's the problem. They don't know. They didn't have the same scope of work that ambulance had for the firehouse. Selective matched the same amount of the firehouse, and they came in at $149,000 some dollars less. It doesn't make any logical sense to anybody.
Saying we have two sets of
Yeah.
scope of works out there.
Yeah.
And obviously, two companies bid on one set, two companies bid on the other.
We've been working on this for a year, guys,
I know you have.
a year.
I know, but it's been a lot of time. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I mean, we're gonna lose $220,000. It's not done by 9/4.
Just the paperwork or all the work?
We gotta get something into the insurance company.
If we, redid the bids,
When
we
did
have enough time to
we
do
get
that.
this?
You're gonna have to ask legal. I obviously don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know.
What's the question?
When did you receive this?
I didn't receive anything until today.
You didn't receive any of the bid packages and numbers in the bid?
I got sent this first by text, I think, from you, Sarah, and then email from Rachel today.
They were supposed to come to you also.
Darcy, this was you sent out? I don't know.
They were emailed to Sydney and to the mayor's office.
I mean, this meeting should not be the first time the legal's looking at these bids.
We agree.
I don't mean to get frustrated, but how am I supposed to know that if nobody communicates that to us? I've never once been told, hey, we need to see this a week in advance or 2 weeks in advance. Like
Well.
We've done everything you've asked. I don't know
Yeah,
what else you want us to do.
Legal After we open.
Could we did get them, but I think we left the Board of Works meeting and they said, okay, I need the bids, and then it was going to go into the hands of the insurance committee. So I did not
And,
hear
and,
about
and you
anything.
guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we looked at them, but it was up to they were going to make a recommendation.
But this
And
is-
so we got it
did-
today.
Y'all did not get this, though. This is what Mr.
no, they did that today.
We got that today.
Okay.
This morning,
Okay.
yeah.
I texted it and emailed.
But we haven't seen it before today.
Gotcha.
What is, out of curiosity, on our recommendations, if we were just gonna go with the lowest, what's the point of having us? I mean, what are we recommending?
You have that at all times. You're looking to make sure that meets with the scope of the specs, stuff like that. But even if it's a public works project or a road, you take those bids, you take them back, and then you get a recommendation from your engineer. The engineer looks at that, make sure that they're bidding on what the specs were for the project.
So legally, were all of the bids fine? Did they provide the Form 96 and everything that was required of them per the ad in the paper?
That's part of the process that the review committee is supposed to make back. It's like, which bids are responsive, which bids are responsible, and what are the lowest bids?
Looks like we skipped a step somewhere or missed a step.
Looks like we missed a step somewhere for the third or fourth time. I need to ask, what do you want us to do, Todd? I mean, I've been on this for 16 months and I've been told 4 times we've done it wrong.
And not once told.
And not once told what to do or how to do.
One, we need to figure out why it is that two bidders bid on what was put out there and two bidders didn't.
Because two different scopes of work right now.
Because no one up here
No,
talks to
because
us.
There's only one scope of work that the city sent out for bids.
Well, I think that, and Go Big bidded on the first scope of work that was sent out, maybe through the insurance committee or somebody.
The first time we sent this
The
out.
first time.
Yes.
we sent it out.
And then you told us we had to make it public, and so
Two scopes of work.
there you are.
And then it was,
The second one didn't go out like the first one went out because no one asked us about it.
But what the attorney's saying is only one of them was technically a legal
Makes sense.
bid document, so regardless of that, Go Big and Amos should have updated their bids to match that,
And I understand.
which I agree with. I agree with everything.
I don't
you're
think
saying.
that they did get it, or they didn't understand they were to be rebid. And I don't feel comfortable passing this with everybody not on the same page.
I don't see how we lose 150,000 on the firehouse. I need someone to explain that to me and how that's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Jewel, how can I pay $500 to SPG to do someone that someone else says they're gonna do for 150? When the insurance company said it was 152, I think.
Yeah, the Amos's bid was closest to the insurance bid within like a percent or two.
So we can't be $150,000 off. We just can't be.
I guess even if we need to have another special meeting, like, yet in this week, I think we have to figure this out. I don't think that we should prove it like this. We can't send somebody down to the fire station to do $600 of work when it's 152.
That's exactly what I
It's gonna
said.
be more than that. It's leaking.
152,000.
So we know, we know. It's been
We have
leaking,
multiple leaks.
been leaking for 16 months, you know.
Yeah, I mean.
But if we pass
no
this,
fix.
but if we pass this today, you do
I
the
fully
600.
agree.
Okay.
I agree. It's, yeah.
The other question would be, I mean, are we obligated to award it per roof, per line item, or are we allowed to award it to one that might be or break it up? It might be slightly more expensive, but you're keeping it all with one contractor to do it that way, or one or two contractors.
So either it is separate projects or it is one project.
But we get to make that, or, well, you
No.
get to make that choice.
It's how it was put out there for the bid. I'm just looking back through the emails. There's an email here because Jeremy Van Erman was working on it. I see an email back on 6/24 because we didn't have anything to put this thing together. And there's the email to Barrett saying, did you get the insurance information to the attorney? Okay, Barrett, I don't know that I ever got an email.
Again, we were never asked, talked about, or anything on the scope. So the guys that worked on it for a year prior were never brought into what should the scope be.
I'm saying that Jeremy reached out on 6/24.
And we sent all the selective stuff. I don't know. I don't know.
I think I'm gonna make the motion to table it because I don't think we can continue. I don't feel comfortable with that. Do you, Tim?
I don't know where 2 or 3 days ago we could be able to come to an agreement.
On the ones that are comparable and have been bid on by everybody, could those buildings individually be approved today? And then we can deal with the outliers later? Yeah, and at least we have a chance at recovering some money.
That's a good idea.
I don't know if we're allowed to do that or not. It's just the thought.
Then we're gonna have to do it for all of us. If we're breaking them up, then all of them have to be broken up to those lowest bidders.
Right, so. But do we have to accept all of them today or can we just approve some of them? What's the question?
I don't know how I can give SPG the bid for the fire station at $500 and expect them to do anything that needs to be done.
That's what I'm saying. That we could approve the ones that are good and then
I know
table.
he's saying if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it.
He's looking at
Oh,
it.
okay.
I'm saying if you're going to break them up, then all of them are gonna have to be broken up. You're gonna be awarding them
One by one,
one by one.
right.
So we can't award some and table the others then, is
That
it?
was the
Okay.
question. So we
Yeah, I
can release some today.
I think that you should be able to do that.
He's gonna check.
And then I guess one thing to note, if we do go that route, Go Big Exteriors was technically the second lowest bidder on, the Kiwanis Pavilion #2. The reason that we recommended that company is because of additional scope. They're the only ones that offered to do the walls and wainscoting around the bottom. So I don't know how that works, if that matters. It's additional scope, and that's why they're the cheapest, because nobody else did that. They only did the roof.
Yeah, but I mean, but if they put that in as their bid compared to for that roof, and that said, this is what it's gonna be, and that's outside of what was requested in there, then everybody else bid, and they're technically non-responsive at that point. They bid on more than what was asked for. And I mean, that would be on them for exceeding what was asked for.
Yeah, I'm glad Eric's not here.
On the Emery, is this in addition to what's already been done?
That
or-
one's done.
No, it's already done.
That one's done already.
Is it technically done? I don't think new gutters got put, there's other line items in that bid that should have stayed for the.
Yeah, there's still
building.
scope, that's not finishing that one.
Because
There's an
right
emergency
here it
roof put
says
on.
27014, so less the 15 that we did. But it's still the same company then, right? It was SPG, did they do that? Are they the one that did the,
No, Go Big Exteriors is the one that did
Yeah.
that. SPG is the one that, SPG bid on it, I believe, even though it was already completed. Which we left it in the bid packet knowing it was already completed. Well, I shouldn't say we, it was left in the bid packet knowing it was already completed.
If we spend 400 of the 500, 500,000, whatever we have, what happens to the rest of the money? Does it get capital improvements on those buildings? Does it pay off bills we owe? What happens to the extra money that's supposed to go to the buildings themselves?
So if you have additional funds that are left over after you repair everything, then it would, just like with the budget, if you don't expend your entire budget, it reverts back to the general fund. And then needs to be reappropriated for dollars later. I mean, it's an unappropriated dollars. It's not, unless it's sitting in a non-reverting fund.
I would feel a lot more comfortable if we could provide a scope of work that is the same for all four, instead of doing what we're doing now. We've already struck 5 or 6 buildings. We obviously have scopes that aren't correct. So if we're really going to get into this and we're already going to lose our possible depreciation money, then we might as well do it correct.
You're not getting contractors, signed contracts and out the door and out there working between now and September 4th likely anyways.
I
So-
think we just have to get the contract signed, right?
There's
It'll have to be
the
completed.
same situation for City Hall.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 different
Yeah, we
buildings that
know.
are the same, where somebody bid 2,500, 3,000, and then there's like a 150 and a 250 or something like that.
Yeah,
That's why you're seeing bids that are $200,000 less than what the city got in insurance money. It's not because they can just do it that cheap. It's because the scope of work doesn't match the amount of money given to the city.
so either these other two companies weren't clear about the scope of work.
No, the scope of work that was published does not match the dollar value provided to the city. But I agree with Jewel in saying that the scope of work provided is the scope of work. It doesn't matter right or wrong. That part doesn't matter. The scope of work is what was put out for bid. So that's what we have to look at. So that's the problem is you have 2 people going off of the original scope that we had from Selective. And then there was another version of that scope from Selective, I believe, that had that was missing information. Because I had both versions of this myself, to be honest. I mean, I had the version that SPG and Pinnacle bid on, and I also had the version that Amos and Go Big bid on. So at some point in time, there was an updated version of that document. The outdated version is what got published.
Which could have been solved if somebody would have called us.
I'm looking through the bid.
What does an extension look like on that date? Is that obtainable?
I mean, maybe. Problem is now we've had a flood, 2 hailstorms and a windstorm, but since it's got done. It's nuts and how the fire station's going, because I'm sure it's great.
Who's on the insurance committee?
Me, Rod, Eric, Freeman, and Sam. Eric couldn't make it. He spent a lot of time on this too.
Again, we know you guys have done a lot of work into this. I'm sorry.
It's just the 4th time. Like I'm beside myself right now, I'll be honest. I am absolutely irate. Not only is it $250,000 being pissed out the door, this is, I don't know what to say right now. Like
There's also a lot of frustration around the timeline in which people got things and had time to review. The first time I was told that we had to have a justifiable reason for not awarding the lowest bidder was about
Today.
10 minutes before this meeting is when I found that information out. So I wouldn't have,
Spent all
this
of our time.
conversation wouldn't be happening right now had I known that before I showed up to this building for this meeting. So that's also,
And Jewel, maybe that's
Very,
our
very
fault. Maybe we need to come
frustrating.
to you and ask this. And if that was the case, I'm sorry, we did not know that.
They are, I mean, the statutes are the statutes. You know, and I'm looking through this.
Well, I think that's the problem. You didn't have the statutes, right?
I think the problem is we didn't have the right people looking at it, which would have been Jules.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the main issue.
So I guess we're gonna have to decide if it's best to break it down and start and board of individual buildings and get quotes back on the others, or start completely over. That's our 2 options, right?
That's what it sounds like,
Okay.
yes.
Jules looking, then we'll come to that conclusion.
So the bid packets, I mean, it is the information that was provided to us. We put it out there, sent it around to Jeremy, Rachel, and Mayor on 6/29/26.
Did you guys hear anything then after that?
We saw it in the paper like you did, Raj.
Be quite honest, came to pick it up the day it was supposed to be made available and it wasn't ready.
Which was not surprising either.
All right. I guess when did you realize that there were 2 different documents out there?
We've been trying to make a recommendation once we found out there was 2 documents out there because we had no other choice. So what we tried to do was make it as apples to apples as we could and then give a recommendation.
Not until the bids came in to answer your question. Once we saw the discrepancy in the numbers, that's when we realized there was an issue.
So when the bids came in, which were,
July 19th, I believe, but then the Board of Works didn't meet quorum that week, so it was 2 weeks after, I believe, that they opened them. And then I don't believe they were sent around or provided to the actual committee for another week.
Yeah, I mean, it was a month after you guys got it.
So, I mean, you're talking first week of August. We had them for a week to work on this.
Right right now, it's the first time I've been notified that there were two different versions.
I found out last night, I went to listen today. But it took us a while to figure that out.
And then,
I get the frustration.
We just don't get much communication up here. Me and Sam and Eric have had very little communication up here.
Well, we're gonna have to fix that, however, because now look at the mess we have.
So the options you have, again, I'm not a policymaker. I advise this to the law, and you guys have to make a decision because you guys are the offices. The options you have are to parse it out as it is provided here, and move forward that way, or reject all of these and then come up with one solid document. It'll be like, we would need to see that, like, we still don't have that. If there's another document out there, a spec from the insurance company. I don't have that in my, and that's what I was looking for.
Do you think you still have that? from
I would have got it from them. I'm not, nothing to do with your guys' insurance at all.
Original.
Mhm.
Yeah, again, I've got everything I've got, what I got from you. So I have nothing with Selective with one bit. So everything's come from the city.
You're talking what Selective gave us, that
Yes.
as
I think that's what you're referring to.
There's two different things from Selective. There is the itemized document that was used for bidding that has all of the line items. Then there's a separate Excel spreadsheet that breaks down the amount of money
right.
and recoverable depreciation and all that stuff for each building. Some of the buildings in that Selective spreadsheet are not necessarily in that breakdown that was used for the scope. And that's where that dollar amount doesn't match, because the dollar amount for the police station or for the fire station is somewhere around 150K in that Selective breakdown spreadsheet. But in the line items that were used for bidding, it shows that around that $600 or $700 mark. So maybe we need clarification from Selective as to what those line items are supposed to be.
We use what's Selective had sent out, sent from Lee Katazi. And then all we did was we blacked out, so this was the estimate complete, so this was August 29th, 2025. We blacked out all of the cost points. So the unit prices, the tax, things of that nature, we blacked that out. It should have all the quantity for what Selective has said that they were gonna cover under this.
So on that document you have, Jewel, what does the fire station have? Because that might be a different document's what I'm saying.
Because the Excel form is definitely different. The Excel version of that is for sure the 150 something.
151, 250.
No, it's not exact. It's within a couple percent, I believe. I know it's around 150.
67 pages.
We know. It's just, that's going to be roughly 25% of the total cost of the bid and the fire station. That's a
So
huge.
what is on here for the fire department building is a roofer per hour, 3 hours, material only, furnace vent cap, rain cap, and storm collar 6 inches.
There's an issue there.
A metal roof in a hailstorm, and that's all the damage it took.
So I'm going to assume that somehow the two documents got switched or separated, or I can't answer that question because
So
we weren't
you've seen a
given this.
document with it more than that?
Yeah,
'Cause I have not.
that's how we got the quote from Amos.
Okay.
And who was the other one we got? We got 3 in the first time.
Amos, was it Nichols and
Yeah, Nichols
there
and
was
someone else.
somebody else?
Yeah,
That was a while back.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
over a year. Yeah, I mean,
6
yeah.
months ago?
Yeah.
7 months ago? It should be in Amos's scope of work, that in their bid packet. Their bid packet, I believe, had the scope of work for every building they were bidding on.
mean, that 67-page document is what we put out there for the bid.
Again, I think the issue is no one asked that 67-page document to Russ before it got published.
Where does it go to?
I
The main
can't answer that
office?
question. I don't know.
Okay.
Where does what go to?
The 67-page document, where did it go
Before
first?
it was published, we never saw it before it was published. I mean, you and me, Eric and Roger never got a chance to look at it and say, yeah, that's what we need to quote out. Which you would have known because we already got 3 quotes on it.
Yeah, we would have looked at the total and immediately
Like,
knew
yeah,
that
that's
it's
not right.
$150,000 low.
Well, what we sent out didn't have any numbers. in it.
Oh, that's
I know,
true.
but yeah, but we
You're right.
would have seen the numbers though when they came in.
Could have had the scope.
Yeah, had the scope.
Scope of work.
Roger, what do you think? I'm almost thinking we should start over. What do you think?
Do we have time?
Here's, I'm gonna drop in on the time part. We're already far below what our check says. So I would say at this point, we just say we're not gonna get the depreciation. It's been a long time in insurance world. And again, 2 hailstorms, a windstorm and a flood, it's gonna be real hard to defend, right?
Yeah.
So let's just assume we're not gonna get it. Anything we get's awesome, but let's just assume we're not. So at this point, let's do it right. Let's just say, you know what? We're all learning here, right? So let's get the right bids, the right packet.
Then all eyes can be on it and we can see what the process is supposed to be. It's
Sounds like
supposed
that's
to
probably,
send out what, when, and if we need a special meeting, we have a special meeting and we get it moving.
Yeah.
Because we also we're headed into fall and winter, so we want this all cleaned up before then.
Your suggestion is just put it out for bid again.
I don't have
With
another
a
idea
different-
that's fair. I mean, I'll be honest, because if we award this to, it doesn't matter who we award it to, someone's gonna come up and say, well, I didn't know, we didn't bid the same thing, right? That's, if I award the fire station to SPG and expect the roof to be fixed for $500, where does that put SPG? Right? That's not fair. And then your roof doesn't get fixed. Plain and simple. Or siding, windows, that's, which is where Inglis comes in with the time spent pictures before the other 3 storms.
In terms of the time frame for re-advertising bids, just so everyone is aware, it might be informative for your decision. It has to be published at least 2 times, 1 week apart, with the second publication being made at least 7 days before the date the bids will be received. So you're looking at 2 weeks at least.
That'd be the 31st.
Keep in mind, we need that document that people are talking about that has the stuff. The only document we have for bid is this thing we got for selected.
Which we might need clarification from Selective because the document that shows the actual breakdown price per building from Selective does not have it itemized like that. So we have 2 different, there's one that's just the price breakdown and then there's one that's itemized line items. The price breakdown says 151,000. That says we need a couple of thumbtacks and some duct tape. So I mean, it's obviously not correct. But yeah, I think, and I don't know that I've seen a line item breakdown version of that numbered spreadsheet. So we might need that clarification from Selective as well.
We may need to know the publication schedule too, Darcy, because even if in a perfect world, it could be all set and ready for tomorrow. I don't know when the paper publishes.
Okay, so stand by, let me pull up my. I can roughly see that. Yeah, September 8th is the next meeting, so
Who has the document that you guys need?
tonight at
We got
midnight.
everything
is the
considered.
deadline for this
So I mean, we
Somebody's gotta
don't
have it in
produce,
there.
yeah, we haven't produced anything.
The only
Well, only
documents
we
we've
get what we
produced are in this
Yeah.
packet.
Yeah, so now, do I do insurance and do I understand claims? Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So like when I see a claims view, I know what to look for.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah, I can
apparently
do
it doesn't mean
that. I
much.
can do
So
that before the 8th.
that's what I'm trying not to get upset because I'm just,
We need this document to materialize.
Oh, no, I
Sure.
can't. So, okay.
You
so
need
it's
a hard
the third,
copy of
Yeah,
it.
okay. So
we,
the
we
third.
can absolutely do that.
And then the
I will
27th
figure
is
that
the
out.
third, and then the
I
meeting's
mean,
on the 8th.
I know you
So
can't
that's
just
probably
make it
too
happen.
soon.
No, it is somewhere. I mean, I've seen it. We gave it to Amos. We gave
Yeah,
it
I
to,
understand.
I mean, all three of them.
I also I wouldn't want to shoehorn it in and get it done as quick as possible, even if it's gonna be after the 4th, because I want to have time for everybody to actually look at the document, provide
So it'll
comments.
be before the 4th, and he said we're already gonna lose that money, so it doesn't have to be by the
Yeah.
4th now.
I was just
And I say
thinking
that,
that, like,
again.
if the stars align.
Yeah, yeah. I just didn't want you guys to like be like pushing for that and then us not have time to get it put together.
So guys, you know what few dates to put in for that paper.
Soon as somebody says go, baby, go, yeah.
We need that.
And I need a document.
So we can't decide that until get the document.
We get
Actually,
the
can
documents that
we
you-
safely say, could you just receive both documents, please, and thank you. instead of just
Email
one?
him the correct document, please.
I will get a hold of Selective. I will get a hold of the head of Selective Claims. I will then ask for an updated version of what they had on what they sent us to provide us the check and the money that they sent us, their scope of how they got to the number they got us. When I get back from that, I will send to you. That is what I can offer. Everything else that I've got has been from the city. I have not talked to Selective individually, but I can do that as long as you give me permission. So, or you guys can do it. I mean, again, you guys can talk to Selective to your claims. I don't know. I know him, but
And more than welcome to
Okay.
talk to Select.
okay. Yeah, then yeah, I'll come here in your office. You have to be here because I'm not the policy holder. You'll be here. We'll talk and we'll get that. Absolutely. We can do that tomorrow if you'd like. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Which will be for you.
Yes.
Okay, so now I can make the motion.
Which one of your motion is?
We want to reject, no.
Oh, no, no.
We want to reject all the.
I'm gonna make the motion to reject all bids and start the process over.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Sorry, guys.
It's,
I mean,
None of us wanted to
I
do it.
apologize to you 3 times now.
I knew it was. a
we
possibility.
want it done right, man.
Yeah.
We're here for you guys. Like, we're not, we want this done. We want things fixed.
Yeah.
So we'll get it done.
Right. Now we need.
No, that's part of the motion. So it's to reject all bids and to start.
Motion to adjourn.
Moved.
I'll second.
All in favor? All opposed?
Please, have to vote.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, no, it's what it is. We get it ironed out.
Sam. Straight to let's get back to the. I can't do that. I don't know, but she was so good about it. To answer the.
I mean,
Oh, you're elected.
Yes, that's it.
It looked like that.
You can drop it down. You can drop it down.
Pause that.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, let's call to order the city council meeting for August 17th, 2026. Roll call. Roger Cuneo,
Present.
John Burchell.
Here.
Woody Gillens,
Here.
Amy McCreary,
Present.
Dave Luck.
Here.
Donna and Jeremy are not here. City Attorney Julie.
Here.
Clerk Treasurer Darcy Van Erman.
Present.
And we're here. Do you have any public comments?
I didn't say anything when I came in.
Move on to approval of previous meetings minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Approval of claims. APV 21197-21276 in the amount of $275,380.46.
I have a couple of questions. APB number 21210, Tyler Darcy, could you tell me what software that was? It was paid out of slot, so I wasn't sure which.
I can go pull that APB. I'm gonna say it's required. They're the only two that would be coming out of that.
Out of that, okay, because I wasn't sure with the TransUnion.
What one was that, Amy?
21210. Do you know that?
I didn't ask. I don't know what it is.
223, which is utilities, for computer installation and configuration. Is that,
Rattle off list, did you 212?
oh, I'm sorry, 21223.
So, that'd be the utility offices, towers. So my office got new towers and the utility office team, filling in, collection team got new towers. Both offices had not had any new computer, anything since 2019. And, Amy's computer tower was, corrupting, mine was corrupting. We were crashing and struggling, so, we were able to get those,
Okay.
replaced, sorry.
And was it last fall, maybe Board of Works approved those? I feel like at some point in time, but that's just that there's so many software, this, that.
No, this wasn't approved by Board of Works,
Okay,
to do those, to replace those.
okay, so that wasn't the same. Okay,
Oh, no.
okay, just making sure because,
Like, yeah, like you just said, like, God, it could be anything since last fall.
yeah, there's been a lot. And then I guess just the last one, would be 21231. That workshop, who attended that workshop and was there any, input?
None of us,
feedback?
none of us have attended. We were supposed to attend, Thursday. Mayor was gonna go, I was gonna go, and Alan was gonna go, but they canceled it because it's at Conner Prairie, and Conner Prairie is a little wet. So it has been canceled and, we are being reimbursed.
Reimbursed, not
Right.
rescheduled.
At this time, yes.
Okay. And then I guess at the time we'll know.
Yep, it'll come back in front of you.
Okay, okay,
Yep.
thank you. So
So actually, that check hasn't gone out at all. They're not reimbursing us because that check wouldn't go out until tomorrow. So it's in the
Okay, so
claim
you-
cycle right now. Now that I think about it, I'm sorry, I said that dumb the first time.
okay, so it'll be voided.
Yes.
Okay, so everything on here has been the valid contracts.
Yes.
Okay, great. And then the proper funds.
Yep.
To pay. Okay, I just wanted to make sure both of those were a go. If that's the case, then I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Well, payroll and pension, no, the payroll, August 7th, 2026, the amount of $130,901.25.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Board comments?
You always listen to me. I do have a comment after, look, I know. But after sitting through that last meeting, and I'm glad to know now who would want, but the first thing that came to my mind is, has anyone looped the building commissioner into any of this? Like, shouldn't he have some involvement or no? I would think that the city would want their things.
He will be
Oh,
inspecting
yeah.
the scope of work.
Right, so with the scope of work, also, I think he might be a good, like, to know what scope of work. I just feel like at this point, more eyes on it might have been better for someone to pop that too, and my thought was, well, the building commissioner should know what things should happen, and I wasn't, when that first came to my mind, I didn't know who all was on it, and they've done a lot of work, they put a lot, and I think all of us are getting frustrated watching them go through that. But I was just curious going forward, since it has to be redone, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe there was a reason that he wasn't looped in on it. But that just came to my mind, like, as far as approving and saying, like, he could have looked at that and said, well, why would he have looked for this, or why wouldn't he have wanted this? Because it only makes sense for that and that, but maybe I'm just going deeper into the weeds. So I just thought it's a comment, kind of a question, but I just thought I would throw it out there. For what it's worth, and I just hate, stop it. That's all, that's all.
The push-in ceremony was really nice. Yeah, your team did a great job putting that together.
What was the red water that got sprayed on my car?
Red water.
Yeah, they were spraying red water on the kids. Hello? I was seeing that.
I have no idea what you're talking
You know what I'm
about.
talking about? I drove by there one day and they were spraying red water out.
That was the, I wondered if that was under.
Oh, good man. Oh, somebody having a baby?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a girl.
It's a girl. When you said red, I'm like, I don't know what.
Well, I was, yeah,
Okay,
well, I went
pink.
by there and his party
There we
going
go,
on.
pink.
I don't know what
Alright.
date it was.
Okay. I was like, wait, I
We
really
hope
don't
it's
know what you're
water.
talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a whole different scene.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I have something too. Ascension, Christina works there. Ascension St. Vincent Hospital is having with the Madison County Medical Mission event, September 12th from 11 to 3. I got some sheets on that, and everything's free while supplies last. It's 11 to 3 at Ascension St. John. So medical screenings, foot care, flu shots.
Free haircuts.
Yeah, it's a neat
That's
event.
Okay, maybe. Free haircuts? Yeah, so if you're interested in any of that, here are some things. Darcy goes out there. I gave some out. Yeah,
Yep, okay,
or make some more copies.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'll think about it in the street.
It's a good thing, so.
It is, it's a
Yeah.
really cool event.
And of course, we all want to keep everyone in our thoughts and prayers that are going through all the tragedy and some unbelievable mess that has come to the county. And it makes you really appreciate your first responders, your board of works, your public works. I don't think people realize that our public works have to go out and man the actual office and watch those waters. Just sometimes when we don't see you guys doing what you're out and about doing, we take for granted what it is that everyone does do, and the work that goes in behind the scenes. So I just want to say how much it's appreciated of all of our personnel and everyone that does those jobs. So thank you.
All right, with that, next meeting will be September 8th at 5:45. Have to motion.
Yes.
So move.
All in favor?
Bye.
All opposed? Thank you all.
Been behind me.
He's like,
I hate to plagiarize. I hate to plagiarize.
Yes.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay. But why am I not? Never had one more thing. Not that I can ever remember. So, anyway. Get it all figured out.
What's it?
Oh, didn't they really? Well, I know, parked on the street.
It makes sense to me, but.
And I got truck
Yeah.
number one. Brand new truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know when they're gonna get to.
You're gonna have that.